If you're under the common misconception that cryptocurrency is fraught with scams, then I urge you to open your eyes to the biggest scam that you're currently living in, the traditional financial system. Welcome to Crypto Coach Will, where we bridge the gap for everyday investors wanting to build real wealth in crypto. I'm Will Wright, the founder of Mining Store and Imperial Wealth, two of Australia's leading companies in the crypto space. For over a decade, I've helped everyday investors safely and securely set up in the cryptocurrency market so they can build long-term sustainable wealth. In this podcast, we break down the complexities of the cryptocurrency market, everything from investing, trading, DeFi, and even Bitcoin mining. Let's get into it. For the past decade, I've had to listen to hundreds, if not thousands, of reputable sources saying crypto is a scam, it's a Ponzi scheme, it's fraught with risk and nefarious actors. And there is no denying that there are certain risks and responsibilities when engaging in crypto. But I assure you, the traditional financial system is far from what you believe or understand it to be. And there's a reason why it's a constant battle to get ahead. In this episode, I'm going to open your eyes to how damaged the traditional financial system really is. I'm also going to show you why cryptocurrency adoption rates are increasing faster than ever before. If you watch this entire episode, you may be confronted by some facts that perhaps you would prefer not to have known about. But hence the question, do you want to swallow the blue pill of naivety, or are you ready to swallow the red pill and finally take control of your finances? You see, the problem is people really don't understand how bad the traditional financial system is. Let me ask you, do you understand what fractional banking is? Let me also ask you, what control do you have over the dollars that are being devalued in your bank every single day? Are you aware that in the Department of Government Efficiency, ran by Elon Musk, there was over 1 million fraudulent transactions found from the USA Treasury? Hyperinflation, debt crisis, government fraud. These are all concepts that you may have heard before. But what is the alternative? Where is the red pill to swallow to exit this corrupt, broken, and unjust traditional financial system? Well, let me give you a hint. Those that are benefiting from the traditional financial system certainly don't want you leaving it. So why do you think they're so against cryptocurrency? Well, because they're scared of it. Crypto is a system that doesn't rely on intermediaries. It's a system that's harder to control. And someone else should not be in control of your finances. You should be. So first, let's unpack the hidden secrets of the traditional financial system and set the tone of just how corrupt and fraught it is with risk. The first thing I want you to understand is the invention of central banks. Basically, this entity is able to print as much money as they possibly want to get the economy out of bad states. They can set interest rates at where they see fit to encourage borrowing or to discourage it to slow the economy down. And there are benefits to this, but what say do you have in it? And how much is it affecting the money that you have in the bank? Well, substantially. The money you have in the bank is going down every single day, and it's because of others' actions, because of the excessive amount of printing that central banks have been doing. Now, the place that I learned about all of this was through Ray Dalio and through his YouTube channel, specifically the episode, How the Economic Machine Works. I encourage you to have a look at this after this episode. Now, in the traditional banking system, you also have commercial banks, and they do this thing called fractional banking, where they're benefiting from all the liquidity in the market. If you don't know what fractional banking is, it's as simple as the bank will loan one person, say $1 million, to buy a property. That person will pay another person the $1 million, and that person puts the money back into the bank. Now, what do you think the bank does with the $1 million, and which is the same $1 million? They lend it out again. So they're literally just creating a 5% interest on the same $1 million, but doing it 10, 20, $50 million times. It's absolutely disgusting. Now, the alternative to this is decentralized finance, where you can earn 20 to 100% interest, just like the banks have been doing for years, and not doing it through fractional lending. Another great alternative to the central banking and the commercial banking is Bitcoin. You can put your money into Bitcoin and have a much better store of value. Bitcoin is capped at only 21 million Bitcoin. No one else out there can just start printing more Bitcoin and devaluing the Bitcoin that you hold. In summary, the traditional financial system offers you no control at all. They print, you suffer. They control liquidity, and you pay out of the nose for it. The other part about the traditional financial system is you actually rely on the banks to manage, transact, and store your money. Whereas in cryptocurrency, it's a decentralized network. No one owns that network, and no one can go and change what's happened before. You don't have to trust all these entities to keep your money safe. I want to share a quick story with a major light bulb moment that I had around this control factor and how little control I realized I actually had in the traditional financial system. When my business partner Cal and I launched our mining store business, we started paying a large amount of bills to overseas hosting facilities to keep our miners online. We're paying anywhere to $1 million to $2 million per month to overseas entities. And we went to the bank on a Friday afternoon to pay a massive sum of money. $1 million is a lot. And they basically denied the transaction. The amount of implication that that caused us and our business. The hosting facility overseas is now threatening to turn off our miners. It was an absolute disaster. Not to mention that Monday was a public holiday, and so we couldn't even get in till Tuesday. This is absolutely ridiculous. The words that I said to the teller at the time, even though it's not their fault, I was pretty upset, okay? And so it shouldn't be like this, but it doesn't have to be like this, and it's not like this in the real world or the decentralized finance world. Now, the way that we pay our power bills is we pay them in USDT. I can pay $1 million, $5 million, $1 billion, whatever sum of money that I want to anywhere in the world instantly. No one asked me any questions. Why are you sending it there? What are you doing it for? And of course, that comes with a little bit of extra responsibility. If you make the mistake and send it to the wrong place, then that's on you. However, it is, as you can see, a much better system which you're in control of. And if you're comfortable with it, have the right safety checks in place, then that's how the financial world should be. Just quickly, if you're ready to take your results to the next level, my team at Imperial Wealth Crypto can help. Inside our Crypto Academy, you'll get access to my personal portfolio, strategies, real-time market insights, and the exact plays my team and I use to stay ahead. With our team of analysts monitoring the markets 24/7, we've helped investors catch moves like a coin that's done a 5x in 4 days. If you're serious about accelerating your wealth, click the link below to book in a call with my team of experts and see how we can help. Now, back to the episode. Now, how close to collapse is the current system that we're actually living in? Well, in my opinion, it's incredibly close, and it keeps me up at night. Go and check out the US debt clock. The website is in the link below. It's honestly disturbing. You're looking at this number in the trillions and trillions of dollars of debt just constantly increasing and increasing. As I said, their whole debt is larger than what they produce in a single year. It's honestly ridiculous. I was recently watching an episode on Joe Rogan where Elon Musk was describing just how bad this really is. He's been involved with the Department of Government Efficiency, where they're doing a full audit of all of the treasury and all the transactions that are going on in the USA and by their government. And he even said himself, he does not believe it's possible to pay off the US debt. That is extremely alarming. There will be a collapse, a bailout, some sort of massive ramification is going to occur. Think of the 2008 financial crisis, or maybe even something worse. Not only is the system on the verge of collapse, but it's completely corrupt. In the same episode that I was listening to, Elon Musk was talking about how there was 1 million fraudulent transactions found in Treasury. That is just a ridiculous amount. These payments were going to people who aren't even alive anymore, people who were living in the future, apparently. What is going on, and how have we let this level of fraudulent activity occur? Well, it comes to this traditional financial system. And of course, the worst part of it all, the same thing that happened in the GFC, who pays for the consequences? You. The GFC happened because the powers above were all corrupt. The regulators who were in on the scam were allowing banks to lend out money with no safety nets. They were basically faking these safety ratings, giving them AAAs or whatever it was. Who paid the price tag for the big corporations' dirty deeds? The taxpayers, when they needed to be bailed out. So let's get into cryptocurrency and why I'm using it as a powerful alternative to the current traditional financial system. The first point that makes it so powerful is it's decentralized. And what that means is we don't rely on single entities. In Australia, maybe USA, and some developed countries, it is potentially not as big of an issue that we can't rely on our banks to be doing things properly for us. However, in some countries, they literally cannot trust their government. And they shouldn't have to. And they don't have to if they connect to the world of cryptocurrency and decentralization. The other point is control and privacy. It's that idea that if I want to leave this country and go overseas, that I shouldn't be told you can't take your wealth with you or you have to pay tax on this. That's not how it should be. And with cryptocurrency, you have the final say. You also have a much higher degree of privacy should you want to. The final point is equal participation in the share of liquidity. And as mentioned, I go through this in my previous episode in detail, but the main idea that I want you to understand is you should be able to lend out your money, not the banks. And you can do that with cryptocurrency, and you can get a much bigger portion of the interest that's being printed out there. So is it the final solution? Maybe. Should you go all in? Probably not. You should have exposure though. And in my opinion, it's absolutely necessary to start building that exposure if you haven't already. At least be set up and educated to shift towards the decentralized system should you need to. In the scenario that I described before of potentially the USA going bankrupt, being a part of the decentralized system may be a very wise move. You don't want to be all in with your money in the banks and nowhere else to go. I'm not saying that it's going to be the absolute alternative and it will save everything, but you want to be set up to take advantage of it if it is. So, swallow the red pill, relearn the system, position yourself to take back control, raise the argument of where the world is going with AI. What currency does AI want to deal in? A currency that doesn't require them to have an identity would be ideal. AI might not be able to go and set up a bank account, but it can receive payments in cryptocurrency. And so this is a massive, massive point, a fundamental point of cryptocurrency, which me and my team see a lot of value in. Do you think that AI are just going to sit there and not produce businesses in the future? And when they do start producing these businesses and want to be paid for them, cryptocurrency is a very good solution. So whether you like it or not, and even if you find this a little bit scary, this is the way of the future. And if you're not integrated, then you're always going to be left behind. So please stop being naive, do your own research, and at least just experiment. You can easily set up a cryptocurrency exchange, a decentralized wallet, and start engaging in this alternative financial system. So if this episode has caught your attention and you feel like there's someone else out there that needs a little bit of a wake-up call to how bad the traditional financial system really is, then please share this episode with them. Also, I'd love to hear from you. Comment in the section below with what your thoughts are on the traditional financial system, and let me know where you're up to and if you've swallowed the red pill. Can't wait to see you in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in to Crypto Coach Will. If you got value from today's episode, then make sure to subscribe so you never miss the latest tips to navigate the crypto market. If you're ready to take crypto investing to the next level, check out the links below where you can book in a call with my team of experts. We place strong emphasis on educating before investing in the market, so take advantage of the knowledge they have to share. Don't forget to follow us on socials @CryptoCoachWill, and I'll catch you in the next episode.